Hey guys, how's it going today? So, as promised, and I'd be seeing my second review of second watch of Superman, and I'd be able to give you a more concrete thoughts on my opinion of the movie. So, when I first came out of the first screening on back on Friday, James Gunn's Superman was a lot to take in, and I had to kind of figure out it's like okay, because my preconceptions on this movie was I had seen the original 1978 Richard Donner Superman and seen Man of Steel, but Superman's never really been my favorite favorite DC character, and my expectations were going in okay, they're going to build a universe, they're going to build a new Superman, and it's under James Gunn. So I'm like, how exactly is this going to work? So my expectations are a little high and going in. So the movie starts off and it kind of throws you into the comic book world, and there is no explanation to the setup. I mean, there's title text, but there's no real explanation about like what has happened in this world before as characters interact with each other, and that kind of initially annoyed me to a degree where I was hoping for more interaction by characters. But as I kind of got into this world, I was like, I kind of understood that like they're kind of just having a jumping point off, and that all of the 75 years of Superman, you've seen that story. You've seen that story, and James Gunn wasn't really telling that. He's more telling that, like, best to describe. It's like an episode of Superman the Animated Series where it jumps into a live action cartoon. So that little aspect of me, I do admit that second time watching, it's not as jarring, but I did notice that as more critiquing the film. But when I was able to sit back and enjoy it for what it was and more entertainment value, I had a really good time enjoying it. So as for the positive and negatives, so like I said in my early reaction, Nicholas Hoult, David Corenswet, and Rachel Brosnahan, they're all fantastic. And I was thinking about it this weekend. I think my favorite Superman is actually Christopher Reeves, David Cornsweet, Henry Cavill, Henry Cavill, or maybe Brent. I think Henry Cavill's third, then Brandon Routh. But Lois is up there with like I forget the main actress's name from the original Superman. But yeah, but as a Lex was really well done, and he might be my favorite Luthor in the entire movie. So as the parts that I wanted to talk about that were really cool is that there was a part of the movie where they go to this other dimension, and that actually was really cool. And I love seeing that otherworldly, dark version of the DC universe. Like as I said in my review, I can't wait for them to explore more in their DC film studio. And I want to say one little thing. So I went to see it with my parents afterwards, and that was a different perspective. My parents were watching this, and particularly my dad was like more just thinking it's like okay, it's like this is not for his generation because there is a lot of stuff going on. But one of the highlights that I forgot to mention in my original review was Krypto. So my family has owned, we're on our fifth dog, Jack, and Jack is a border collie you've seen in my previous videos. So when I first started watching Krypto, I was like, Krypto is essentially Jack with godlike superpowers. So my dad, I told Krypto that Krypto was going to be in this movie. My dad's like, I don't know about that. It's like Krypto the Superdog. It's like, why do you need that in the movie? My dad didn't really like the movie that much, but he comes out of the movie and he's like, I want a Krypto the Superdog spinoff. I want a TV show. I want this. I want that. So so the one thing that my dad was like iffy on, it ended up winning him over the whole time. But no, Tipto was a definitely positive side of the movie, and it leads to a very hilarious interaction at the end. So yeah, I wanted to do a quick wrap up of my thoughts of Superman. So I would say that it's my favorite Superman actor since Christopher Reeves, and I've rated it on my letterbox. I'd say it's the 1978 1978 Superman. Then it's probably Superman with James Gunn. Then Man of Steel. Then that. But knowing that I haven't seen that many Superman films, but that is my current rating. In regards to best of the year, like we're heading into award season, and there is some really good films coming out this year, like Frankenstein and Dead Man, and Wicked and Avatar. And right now, I'd say Superman it's in my top 10. I'd say my two favorite comic book movies this year. Well, there hasn't been only those have been three of them. I'd say I'd say Thunderbolts, and I'd say Thunderbolts is a bit higher than Superman, but very close to that area. But yeah, so it's very well done. The acting is all fantastic. Crypto part of it is hilarious and awesome, and the visual effects feel right out of a comic book movie. So that was my kind of review on Superman James Gunn 2025. So stay tuned because I've got my Fantastic Four IMAX review. I won't be doing initial reaction for that. I'll be doing it directly out of the theater review. That will be on the weekend the Fantastic Four comes out. And then I've got coming up where I'm going to go see The Naked Gun. But as for that in August, I'm not sure. I may see there's a re-release of Jaws. I may see that. But into September, I'll be going back to TIFF. So expect that stuff in September. That in September I'll be at TIFF. I haven't really posted the schedule yet for anything TIFF related, but I'll be at TIFF and I'll be reviewing some movies. Not sure what I'm seeing yet. And then into the fall, I'll be recovering, say, things like Running Man or Avatar or Wicked. There's a lot of good stuff coming out in the fall, so stay tuned to my channel for that. So yeah, let me know your thoughts below on what you think of Superman 2025. What your favorite part of, just like Krypto, who your favorite Superman is, what are your expectations of the DC universe heading into it, and let your friends know about my channel and like and subscribe. Thanks.